When you look outside in your backyard, what does your outside pool deck look like? What does your patio look like? Could it use a bit of a makeover? Our friends from the Home Pro Show are here with some great ideas for you. Let's get straight to the host of the show, Clint August. Hi, Clint.
Good Friday morning to you, Heather. How are you?
You too, Clint. Happy Friday.
Well, you know, it's funny. This past Monday, we had a great show talking about how to beautify your pool. Well, now you want to make sure that you beautify everything leading up to your pool, the decking. And we've got Greg Cantor with Murray Lampert Design Build Remodel with us, our resident pro, 30 years in the business. Gil Corey from Life Deck, great pro with us on the Home Pro Show. My question is, why exactly this time of year are we talking about this?
Well, you don't want to wait till the last minute. You know, you need to get ready for spring and summer to enjoy your pool. And so now is really the perfect time to start looking into the options. And so we have Life Deck here. Gil's been on the show many times. Tell us again, refresh us on all the services that you provide, then we'll jump into pool decking.
Well, pool decking is certainly a big part of what we do, but just about any concrete surface that you have, we do concrete staining, epoxy in garages. We also do waterproofing on decks, so just about anything concrete related, think about the surfaces that we do.
So you brought some different options. Explain all the different, I mean, there's a lot of considerations for pool decking depending on the condition of the existing slab and all, but step through the process.
Sure, so the process is, basically pool decks, when they become 20, 30 years old, they can get chipped, stained, cracked. We have some great surfaces to resurface the existing concrete. It's a nice way to reuse what you have and recycle your existing concrete, everywhere from standard finishes on my left all the way to some nicer flagstone patterns on the right.
I notice on these examples here that most of them are textured. And I think about this too. Is this something you think about with Life Deck? My father-in-law has a wonderful pool. It looks beautiful, but man, is it slippery when you get out and your feet are wet.
It's very important. We can make it beautiful, and there are a lot of beautiful pool decks I see out there that have that problem. So we want to make sure that we address that it's non-skid. So that's a very important step in when we're going to resurface the pool deck. We'll make sure that there's non-skid additives in the sealer to help protect it from being slippery.
And you were saying before we got on the show, you do sealing of existing pool decks, right? I mean, you probably mostly do resurfacing, but you can do sealing as well.
Right. So if your pool deck has an existing coating on it, at some point it needs to be maintained and cleaned and sealed. So we certainly can handle that and are familiar with the different types that are out there.
So most of the time, are you dealing with existing concrete that you're stripping and resurfacing?
It happens a lot that somebody has an existing surface on it, so we have all the equipment to strip off what's there and install a new system, or to install a new system on new concrete or existing concrete that doesn't have a coating on it.
And here's another thing to think about too. If you look at some of these examples, I mean this one in particular right here, you were saying that if you have existing cracks, you can work with those cracks.
Well, certainly by the time people call us, their concrete's not perfect, and cracks are one of the things that they'll want to talk about. So there's a couple of different ways to deal with cracks. You can certainly fill them with an epoxy and go over them. But there's a nice way to deal with them, and cutting them into a pattern or incorporating them into a pattern. That's called a flagstone cut design. So what we're going to do is take the existing cracks, cut those out, and add more lines to it. In the process of coloring and texturing the deck, you give it a nice design and a way to kind of live with the cracks that are there.
And we're not talking about structural cracks here. We're just talking about cosmetic cracks.
That's correct. Yeah. That's correct.
All right, we have a social media question. It is about how long does it take to redo my pool decking? I want a new surface, but want it done by the holidays. Is that possible?
Absolutely, yes. A typical residential pool deck, I would say, is about a 3 to 5 day process. Typically, you can walk on it the next day, and within 24 hours, it'll be dry, and you can start putting furniture and things back within a 48 to 72 hour period. So all in all, about a week to get it all done, if you want to look at it that way.
All right, so think about it again. If you've already got a coating, you need to have a Life Deck come out. They'll work with existing coatings. And remember, not all companies do that. They can give you a fresh new coating. They'll save you money in different ways. So Heather, I think for getting ready to entertain for the outdoors, do it now. And they'll come out and do a free estimate with Life Deck.
Right, and if we have the winter like we had last winter where it was just the endless summer, you're going to want that to look good right away. So thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, ApprovedHomePros.com again is the website if you want to get a hold of Life Deck or any other local approved home pro. Thanks, guys.